それは困りましたね。
Fyodor? Well, I know Nathaniel is working with him, but I didn't know he was gonna show up like in person or anything. Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dog Season 3, Episode 8, The Masked Assassin. And the last episode was Francis Rising. Louisa went and found him and basically convinced him to, go back to becoming who he was. And they divide a strategy where, he wants to buy basically the state, like Ango's people, whoever's on top, he wants to buy them. And then he acquired this technology from this company. He bought the company, and the person that developed that technology is now working for him, and he's gonna use that technology to find someone. I don't know who, but yeah, I love that episode. I loved it. So before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/Philemini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. I wonder who the masked assassin is and who he's after. He or she. What the heck? Title of the episode is Masked Assassin, right? I'm like, okay, who's this assassin after? Turns out he's after Gifted? Well, yeah, he's after Gifted people, but mostly he's after the president and Mori. Now, I'm like, okay, who's this masked assassin, right? And at one point, you see Dazai, going to the alley where the president was attacked and everything, seeing the puzzle, and he's like, just thinking about all this stuff, and he's like, oh, I know who the assassin is. And I'm like, okay, tell me. He didn't tell me right then and there, of course, but then they go back to when the assassin was attacking when the assassin after the assassin attacked Mori said that they came up with a plan or something or other like that to basically lure the assassin into a trap and everything. And then he got into the car with Elise Chan, and then they just blew up, and I'm like, okay, was that part of the plan? But then Elise Chan saved him. And then I'm like, okay, like, I'm still wondering what the relationship is between Elise Chan and Mori. What's Elise Chan's ability? And then when you think about the movie Dead Apple, and then you see their ability taking shape and attacking them and everything, Mori's ability looked like Elise Chan. So it's like, I'm really confused about how all of that works. But after she saved him, I think after the assassin attack, they were able to basically triangulate or where the assassin was or something, and Akutagawa was there, and he went after the assassin, and the mask broke off, and it turns out to be Nathaniel. And I'm like, okay, he was saying something about resurrecting his beloved or something like that. I'm like, okay, who's your beloved? I thought about the woman, I think her name was Margaret. I thought about her, but then his eyes sort of like glazed over, like he's not really himself, And then he turns around and asked Akutagawa, like, who are you? I'm like, what? So seems like Fyodor brainwashed him, because after the attack on Mori and everything, there was this police officer or whatever that just showed up, was like, are you guys okay? And Mori-san came up with this excuse about Elise pouring orange juice into the tank or something or other like that, and that they were okay. And then the officer was like, well, that's too bad. And then he just like stabbed Mori. Turned out that the officer was Fyodor, and then he just ran away. Elise tried to look for him, but she couldn't find him. He disappeared. And then you see him in an alley of some kind, and then Dazai shows up with an apple. of course. So I'm like, he figured out that it was him, and then they talked about the book, said that the book was basically a blank, I guess, where anything you write in there is gonna become true. And apparently, what Fyodor wants is that he wants a world without gifted. He said he wants a world without sin, without gifted. So is he equating gifted people with sin? Like, I don't get it. Sin is that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know, but that's what he wants. And I just love how confident it is that even though he got shot, Dazai, he just turns around, tells Fyodor to try to make a world that, without sin, I guess. And then I'm like, also, when Dazai showed up there and then he got shot. And I'm like, okay, he saw that happen, right? You know how sometimes you will see him with his arm all like bandaged up. Turns out that it was just hiding something there. It's not really, the arm is actually okay, but he's just hiding the fact that he's okay with something else because he saw something else, something happening in the future or something. He predicted something else that's going to happen and whatever. So I'm like, okay, he must have predicted the sniper showing up and shooting at him, right? But you see the blood and everything. And then I'm like, okay, is it fake blood? Is he wearing something that, making it seem like that was his actual blood flowing when it's not actually his blood, And Fyodor even said it. He's like, you predicted the sniper being there and everything, but you still showed up so that you can gather information. And I'm like, I just feel like it doesn't make any sense to me. That I predicted that this sniper was gonna be there and he didn't take any precautions. He just showed up there and then got shot. And now he's on the operating table and can't really help the others. And Fyodor told him what he went there. He went there to ask them what the poison that he used on what do I keep forgetting the president's name? Is he Fu something? Yeah, Fukuzawa. Yeah, Fukuzawa. He wanted to know what the poison what he poisoned Fukuzawa with, right? And then they guys like the words that he used made it seem like it's this thing that's gonna basically devour your ability. That's how I understood it. But then when he explained it, he's like, basically, Fukuzawa and Mori-san were linked. So whoever's life force is gone, I guess, is gonna die or something or other like that. I don't. I'm trying to remember exactly if that's what he said. If I'm saying it properly, but either way, both lives were linked. So if one dies, the other one is gonna be safe. So he basically did this to push the mafia and the agency to fight each other. Because since he wants to get rid of gifted in the first place, them fighting each other is gonna clearly bring the number of gifted in the society down. So yeah, and those two agencies and the special ops division, I guess, are the three main things that can sort of like stop him, I guess. So if you pit these two organizations against each other, is to his advantage, I guess. So because of this, the poor mafia is like, we're not letting Mori die. And then they went to the agency and then everybody, like, they encircled the agency. Mori-san, no Mori, Fukuzawa. They're like, okay, Chuya is there and is like, you just give us the president's head, and then you guys are gonna be okay. And in the meantime, you have Kunikida there, who's the second. He's the acting in command now, acting president. So he's there just like basically trying to figure out what to do. He's like, at least if we had Dazai with us, then we would have a chance of facing the Port Mafia. But the Port Mafia is there, so it's like you have to do something. And that's where Rumple came out of the president's room, and he just basically told them to get it together and tells him to tell him like what he wants them to do, and then he's gonna gather information, I guess, based on what Kunikida chooses to do. And I guess they chose to defend the president, and every one of them is there, just like I guess in front of the president's room. And Chuya just showed up with Akutagawa and others, and I'm like, it was just so cool though. Like when they were facing each other, and then you see Chuya just like down there, just being cool, looking cool and everything. I don't know, I just love Chuya, man. But I don't want them to fight each other. Like I don't. I wish Daza was there too, so we can see the banter between these two. Because those are always fun. How is this thing gonna end? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/feelingme, and you can also see the full length for this reaction as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Medbjörnen i mig fall, badens shadow, you can bring me down. Mona Jagan.